The moment you start labeling foods or labeling something as a cheat is the moment you start viewing it as a negative thing. And when you create those type of negative feelings around food, it's really easy to get into like habits of binging or the all or nothing mindset where like you end up having one cookie and then you're like, oh, fuck, I just messed up my entire day. I might as well just eat the whole packet.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name's Lisa. I'm a women's online fitness coach. I've been a trainer for about a decade now, and I love helping women make their 30s the healthiest, happiest, and hottest decade of their life so far. If you are not new here, welcome back. I so appreciate you being here and hanging out with me. So today we are going to hit a full upper body workout. I did this workout last week, and to say I was sore is an understatement. I was sore for like 4 freaking days. And so obviously it was a killer workout. We're going to repeat it. And the pre-workout for today is OxyShred, the Frosty Big Apple. Now, I've said this in previous videos. I do not take OxyShred because it's a thermogenic pre-workout. I take it because I actually like it. Like, I like the flavors. I like the way it makes me feel. It doesn't make me crazy jittery or have massive amounts of anxiety later in the day, which some other pre-workouts do. So this is kind of I switch between this and like Raw and a few other brands. But we're going to do this one today. Now, when I take this lid off, you're going to be shocked by the color. This pre-workout literally turns my teeth blue, but I like the flavor of it, so I just kind of deal with it. Look at that. That can't be good for me, right? All that blue color, that cannot be good for me, but you know, it's balance, right? It's about balance. So we're going to take a scoop of pre-workout. We're going to hit a full body, not a full body. We're going to hit a full upper day, and it should be a good time. I don't always do like full upper or full body days, but I've been kind of switching up my workouts and my splits a little bit just because I haven't been going to the gym like 6 days a week like I like to. It's been more like 4. So I want to make sure I'm not like missing any key muscle groups and not challenging myself enough. So I've been kind of mixing things up. I did legs yesterday. I'm doing a full upper today. Tomorrow will probably be like cardio core and abs, and maybe a little bit of arms, and then we'll go back to another leg day and so forth. So my split's honestly been a little bit all over the place, and I've really been tempted to just like use an app or do some sort of challenge just to give me some structured consistency in regards to my workouts. I obviously could program them myself. I've been doing this for a decade, but sometimes it's nice just having somebody else's programming because they're going to throw in exercises that you don't normally do. It's going to challenge you in a different way. And I think that's good. It's a good way to keep things fresh, and especially when you're kind of in like a workout slump. I've been looking into the Lateral app because I love Kelly Matthews, and she is on the Lateral app, and it's not very expensive, and she is more of like an athletic style of training. So we'll see. I haven't really decided because I'm like, Lisa, you can just not be lazy and program something yourself and just follow that program. But you know, I just don't want to. But anyways, we're going to drink our pre-workout, head inside, and get this lift in. So cheers.
All right, so we're starting with barbell rows today. We always start with just the bar just to make sure form feels good, nothing is uncomfortable. To be so honest with you guys, it's not that I didn't want to come to the gym today. I just didn't want to try to look cute, if that makes sense. I just was like over it. I didn't want to wear a dark sport shirt because they're really heavy and really thick. I didn't want to wear shorts. I didn't want to wear my normal like leggings because they get really hot. So I was like, you know, we'll do some flares and an oversized tee and just roll with it. I feel like the fitness industry has completely like made it seem like if you're not cute at the gym, it's not a good workout, which is complete baloney. Sometimes I just want to hide, and today is one of those days. And it's not that I feel bad in my body today. I just don't feel like fussing with things. So we're gonna do another set, and I'm trying to be careful with the barbell because these leggings are like really soft, and I don't want to pill them by rubbing them against the bar. I caved and did buy stuff from Oner, even though I didn't want to. But like the flared and the straight leg leggings are so cute, and it's basically made me obsessed with the soft motion fabric. So I have 2 pairs of shorts in the soft motion, and then I've got 3 pairs of these flares in different colors. And I just ordered a pair of the soft motion straight because they finally came in stock. So they sell out in like 0.5 seconds. So, you know, it is what it is. And if you are curious, I get a medium short, and I'm 5'1", and they're still decently long on me. Like, they still drag on the floor a bit, which I like. I appreciate. But if you like really soft leggings, I do really like these, although I really wanted to fight Oner and never buy anything from them. But, you know. Oh shit, I completely forgot. We were supposed to be supersetting these with push-ups. Damn it. All right, we'll do push-ups after this set. Okay, we're going to superset with our push-ups. I completely forgot. Push-ups are one of those things you have to practice a lot to get better if you're a female. We don't naturally have the upper body strength. And if you've watched some of my other YouTubes, I like give you tips on how to get stronger with your push-ups, but doing them in a Smith machine where you can like lower the bar and adjust it based off of what you need is like one of the best ways to do it. I'm not a big fan of girl push-ups because they just don't resemble a real push-up well enough for me. We'll do an extra set of push-ups at the end of this to make up for the fact that I forgot to do that. All right, next we're going to be doing barbell strict press, military press, overhead press. There's a bajillion names for it. If you cannot do this with a 45-pound bar, get the pre-weighted bars that your gym has that starts at like 20 or 10, 20, 30, 40, whatever. And the key to this is good form. So you want to like tuck your hips in, squeeze your glutes. You don't want to like arch your lower back because that's going to eventually hurt your back. So I'm gripping the bar about shoulder distance apart, twisting my wrists up so they're strict, squeeze my glutes. This exercise humbles the hell out of me every single time because I can only put like 5s or 10s on each side and I feel like a weenie. I used to be able to do more, but then shoulder injuries and all that stuff. But same thing. I use the grips as like my measuring space, but basically you want shoulder distance. Core is engaged. Press. And I'm not using my lower body to help me. That would be a push press, which is different than a strict press. You know, I had a really great conversation with a client the other day about like food freedom and what food freedom means, because she was in a very, or she's working through in a very similar place as I was when it came to food freedom. I thought food freedom was being able to say yes to everything, you know, not feeling like there was any restriction. And I think that is needed after you do go through a long period of thinking restriction is the answer. So when I was in like the best shape of my life in my 20s, I was extremely restrictive. I tracked macros. I cut out a lot of shit. I only had cheat meals and was very restricted, scared of certain foods. Then I went to like the extreme other side of the spectrum, right? So I basically, let me do this set and then we'll keep chatting. But then I went to like the extreme other side of the spectrum where like I said yes, everything. And I was like, there's no restriction. I'm going to do whatever I want. And that's when I gained like 30 pounds. But I needed that in order to work through a lot of the food fears I had and like things that I did because I was scared because of like things you see on social media, like fruit is bad because of the sugar. Come on, guys. I know I fell for that. And I know other women do, but it's not true. Fruit isn't the problem. Fruit isn't why we gain weight. Fruit isn't why we're obese. Like, that's just ridiculous, right? If you compete, I understand how fruit can impact like a prep, but if you're a normal human being and you're trying to lose weight, fruit is not the problem. But anyways, I went to like the far extreme of that. where I said yes to everything and there was no restriction and there was no cheat meals. And that's where I gained a bunch of weight. But it also made me feel free in the sense that I wasn't scared of food. And now I've come to the middle ground, which is where my client is currently working towards. And we've had some massive breakthroughs since we started working together. But to me, food freedom is being able to say no without feeling guilt, shame, or restricted. Simply being able to say no because you're like, you know what? This isn't going to help me reach my goals. Or I don't need this today. The cake will always be there. I can go get cake another day. But today, I don't need the cake. To me, that is food freedom. Being able to set boundaries, being able to say no, being able to say yes when you want to, and kind of removing the negative emotions that could potentially come with those things. So guilt, shame, pressure. I think it's hard to say no when you feel pressured by other people. Oh, they're playing Regulators by Warren G. This is one of my absolute favorite songs. But anyways, being able to set those boundaries, being able to do what's best for you without, like I said, any negative emotions. To me, that is food freedom. Okay, we're doing things a little out of order compared to what I did last week because there's people over in the free weight section and there's not really room for me to film over there. So we'll just flip flop the order of things. I'm actually fangirling a little bit. I know he goes to this gym, but Jared from Renaissance Periodization or RP goes here. And so he's filming a YouTube video right now. It's actually funny because I recognized him when I first started coming here, but I didn't know who he was. I was just like, he looks so familiar. And then I was on YouTube watching, I don't remember what I was watching. I think it was like a Dr. Mike video from RP on like how to grow your glutes. And then all of a sudden he pops into it and I'm like, oh shit, he goes to my gym. I know who that is, which felt really, really cool. But then I feel like a fangirl. I went to a coaching conference here in Vegas, like back in March. And RP, one of the guys from RP was actually one of the speakers talking about programming and stuff like that. So that was really cool too. But Vegas, especially gyms, are like, if you're into fitness, you are going to see people that you know or follow on social media all the time. Like there's another guy that goes here occasionally. I don't see him much anymore, but maybe he comes at a different time. And I also was like, that guy looks so familiar, but I don't know who he is. And then he pops up on my TikTok and has like 2.5 million followers. And I was like, oh, that's cool. But it is pretty cool though. It's very inspiring as well. Oh, we need it up to 45s. But back to like the food freedom thing. Like I said earlier, it's like being able to say no without feeling guilt, shame, fear, pressure, all of that things, which is why I don't do cheat meals because cheat meals, the word cheat itself, like is a negative word, right? And a lot of negative emotions can come from the word cheat. It makes you feel like you're doing something wrong or bad, like you shouldn't be doing it. And so I've completely removed that word from my vocabulary. I also don't label food as good or bad. I label it as like healthy, nutritious, and fun. Because the moment you start labeling foods or labeling something as a cheat is the moment you start viewing it as a negative thing. And when you create those type of negative feelings around food, it's really easy to get into like habits of binging or the all or nothing mindset where like you end up having one cookie and then you're like, oh, fuck, I just messed up my entire day. I might as well just eat the whole packet because you told yourself you did something bad. We're humans. We don't like to follow rules, right? We don't like to do, like, we want to break the rules. And I think if we put rules around our food and labels, it makes us a lot more inclined to break those rules. And then we have to deal with the negative impacts of that. So if you view a cookie as bad, right? You have the cookie, you immediately feel guilt, shame, and like you did something bad. And then you have two options from there. You can accept it and move on, or if you struggle to manage your emotions and struggle with the all or nothing mindset, you're gonna be like, damn, I ate the whole cookie. I'm just going to eat the whole packet. The day is fucked. Tomorrow I'll start over. And then what happens tomorrow when a coworker brings you a donut and you're too nice to say no because you struggle with boundaries around food and you don't want to feel restricted? So then, well, now you just messed up that whole day, right? If you're using that all or nothing mentality. And before you know it, it's Thursday and you said, I'll start over tomorrow every single day. You get to Thursday and you're like, you know what? We'll just start over on Monday. And then you can see how that cycle continues and continues because, well, now you're going to wait till Monday. So you're going to just eat your heart out, drink your heart out all the next few days till Monday. Monday, you start over, start fresh. And then what happens if you mess up next week? Then that cycle repeats. And then before you know it, 6 months have gone by. You've seen zero progress. You may have actually gained some of the weight back or gained some weight. And you're feeling worse about yourself. You're feeling really bad about your experience when it comes to your weight loss or your health. And people do this cycle their entire fucking life because you never actually deal with the shit you need to deal with. You think doing 75 hard or doing a diet or doing a challenge or working with a specific coach is going to like fix all of the problems when in fact it doesn't at all. So you basically have to learn how to break the cycle. And that takes a lot of mindset work. It takes a lot of like work with your food relationship that you have to be prepared to do. It's not easy and it takes time, but it's possible. Because I was a massive closet binger and struggled with the all or nothing mindset for a really long time. And it wasn't until I fixed that, I'm still working on it, but it wasn't until I actively decided to work on it and like face my struggles and face my food problems that I wouldn't say it became easier, but I became a lot more logical, which then made the choices easier because they weren't based on emotion. They were based on logic and reason. Yes, food is emotional and it can be. It can make you happy. But if we use food as a band-aid or as a cover to like feel our feelings or distract us from our feelings, it's not the healthiest relationship, right? Also with these, make sure you're keeping your shoulders down and back. You're pressing them into the seat. You're pushing through your chest, not your shoulders. Okay, so there's still not enough room over the free weights. We were going to do single arm dumbbell rows, supersetted with incline dumbbell chest press, supersetted with lateral raises, but that's not going to happen. So we're going to do single arm rows on the machine, and then we're going to superset with lateral plate raises. And we'll do front plate raises and lateral plate raises since we just did chest press on the machine. So we're going to do a narrow grip on this. Chest is against the pad. Drive your elbow back. You don't want to like lean forward and come back. You want to be nice and controlled. So the client that I said is working through the whole food freedom stuff, she's been a chronic yo-yo dieter for like 16 years. Okay. And she finally decided she was over it. She was tired of always starting a new diet, never actually looking the way she wanted to, being afraid of food, and wanted to finally feel confident in her body, but also in her nutrition. So we've been doing macros, and I've actually increased her food intake significantly. Like she was shocked that she's eating, I think she's at like 160 grams of carbs right now when she's done keto and all these super low carb diets. And she was shocked. She even bragged to her mom about how she was eating more carbs and calories, but actually losing weight. And her body composition change is insane. She's had 3 kids over the last 8 years, had like a hanging belly, went through IVF, all the things, and her physique, her face, everything, like her cheekbones, her tummy's tightening up, like the apron is lifting, her back, her glutes, her legs, all of it's changing. But what makes me even more happy are the messages that I get from her that are like, I felt so strong during my workout today, or I had popcorn and candy with my husband while watching TV and didn't feel guilt or shame. And then last week, we talked about the whole boundaries around food and how saying no doesn't mean you're being restrictive. And so one of her kids had like a play date with one of her kids had a play date, and the mom had told her she was going to make mac and cheese. And she basically said, hey, I appreciate it. My son would love some mac and cheese. It's not really something I want to eat right now. And that was it. She ate before she went. She made a good choice. She felt better about her choice. She knew her choice was going to help her reach her goals more so than the mac and cheese. No guilt, no shame. And to me, that is food freedom. So I'm just so proud of her. And we're 3 months into working together, and I just can't wait to see what else we accomplish with just how she feels about her body, how she feels about food, and like she's enjoying life again. She's like, I have energy, I feel good, her skin is glowing, and it's just seeing those type of changes to me is worth so much more than seeing the scale change. Like, I would rather a client feel confident, feel happy, feel healthy, and enjoy life with her family than feeling restricted just to lose 10 pounds. Like, no, that's not the point. So we're going to do front plate raises. Okay, front plate raises aren't something I do a lot of, and I don't program them for clients because I don't think they're really necessary, but we're going to do it today. So I'm not swinging. It's controlled. The reason why I don't really program these that much is because doing chest work, like incline dumbbell chest press or just flat bench chest press, pec flies, you tend to work the front delt or the front part of your shoulder doing those. So, you know, none of my clients are trying to compete. None of my clients are trying to have like super rounded shoulders. So we don't really need to do that stuff. But now we're going to do plate lateral raises. So just like a dumbbell lateral raise, but we're going to stick our hands through the holes to hold it. Nice and controlled. Stop at shoulder height. You do not need to go higher. And I have a soft bend in my elbows. And I'm coming slightly in front of my shoulders. And you don't have to go heavy on these. Literally 5 pounds is like challenging. I always laugh when clients message me and they're like, I could only do 5 pounds. And I'm like, it's going to stay that way for a long time. It's hard to go up on these. Which actually brings up a really great point. It brings up the point of you got to stop comparing yourself to other people in the gym. I know some people are very numbers focused and I understand that, but like I'll have clients ask like, what should I be doing? Or how is this in comparison to other people? And that's not the point of lifting weights. I don't care what Sally is lifting. I don't care what Joe Schmo is lifting because my body, my journey, my strength is completely different than theirs. So you just focus on getting stronger for you and your capacity. If you're doing rows like this and you start with 10 pounds, sweet, let's work to 15. Let's work to 20. Don't worry about the fact that I'm doing 45s. Like, it's irrelevant. So you have to focus on you and not comparing yourself to other people. I really feel like with weightlifting, comparing yourself to other people is how you hurt yourself or how you lose motivation because you're going to feel like garbage about yourself if you're comparing yourself to Sally over there who's leg pressing 10 plates. But do you know that Sally's on gear? Like, that's the thing. You don't know what other people are taking, how long they've been lifting, none of that. And Sally might be able to do 10 plates on the leg press, but maybe she can't do 50-pound incline dumbbell chest press. Maybe she's got a weak chest, but she's got really strong legs. So like you can't compare yourself to everybody else or you're going to lose your mind doing that. And make sure when you're lifting, you take your time. None of this half rep garbage that I see people do. Full stretch, full contraction. Full stretch, contraction. If you struggle with that, count to 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And that will force you to take your time. All right. Well, this workout is completely different than I planned because there's still no space over at the free weights. we were supposed to finish with seated dumbbell shoulder press with some dumbbell reverse flies. So we're going to do the machine shoulder press and some plate reverse flies because I don't want to walk over there and get dumbbells because it's all the way across the gym. So we're going to do shoulder press first. Okay, so dumbbell reverse flies. We're going to rear delts right here. So you are going to lean forward and you're going to open like so. And I'm squeezing my shoulder blades together. That was Jared, by the way, that just walked by in the red tank top. But that's what reverse flies look like. So we're going to do probably 2 to 3 more sets of this and then cool down with a little bit of cardio and then be done. I still feel like I worked everything really well. I'm a little bummed the workout didn't go exactly as planned, but sometimes that's what happens. You have to be able to improvise. You can do every exercise probably 5 to 10 different ways. So if one way is taken, you can do it a different way. So I know it's hard sometimes if you're like following a program and like, you know, a piece of equipment's taken or something, but you can find a different way to do it. You know, seated shoulder press, you can do on a machine, you can do with dumbbells. There's 2 other shoulder press machines that my gym has too. I know not every gym has that, but there's other ways to do it, or skip it and do something else and then go back to it. That's also something you can do. So don't get too, you know, panicked if you can't do it the exact way that it's written, because sometimes you just can't. And that's okay. The important thing is that you're moving and you're staying consistent. But I think this is where I will leave you guys. I hope you got something out of today's workout. It will be posted down in the description box. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. And I will see you guys in the next one. Love ya.